So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a simple slideshow here. I just want to introduce the product here. There we go. Sharing the wrong monitor there. Sorry about that. So Alex, if you can confirm you can see those slides.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Okay, so like Alex had already mentioned, we're going to be talking about Vuforia Chalk today. And Chalk is an ideal fit for organizations that have any critical need for expert remote guidance. So if a scenario where service and downtime are very expensive and the experts who can help fix the problem aren't necessarily available to go on site. Now, talking with customers, we generally see some different challenges across the board here. And one of the big ones here is the difficulty to recruit and train new workers. So you have these aging technicians who have all this tribal knowledge and they're retiring because they generally find physical work more challenging. So they have to retire rather than being used for their vast tribal knowledge. And our new technicians learn differently. So they need to learn in a very familiar environment. And that employee skill gap between those new and experienced technicians is very difficult to fill, especially when your specialist expertise is dispersed. So it's pretty much impossible to have a highly experienced technician at every single site visit. Or there's scenarios where multiple technicians are required on site. So you might have an expert required to supervise and check the quality of work. And that could be for quality confirmation or even shadowing a new technician for a certain amount of months after they complete their training. There's also repeat visits. And as I'm sure a lot of you know, there's high travel costs associated with technician transportation. And these repeat visits could be through many different things, whether that's poor technician efficiency with the low first time fix rate, equipment availability, technician utilization rate, and high mean time to resolution as well. It could be high equipment downtime, which could lead to poor SLA compliance and high penalties and low customer satisfaction. And also poor technician retention as well as job satisfaction. And these highly complex product lines generally have little or no service documentation, so it's going to be impossible for one of these new technicians to just look at this and understand what's happening and how to fix any issues that are associated with it. And that is where Vuforia Chalk comes into play. So this is a groundbreaking new enterprise solution that allows one employee to effectively instruct another from another remote location. You can think of this as a new form of remote telepresence, or analogy I like to make is it's FaceTime on steroids. Now, this is a mobile collaboration tool that combines powerful AR with real-time video to give you that ultimate solution for remote assistance. So kind of on the AR piece here, that's a really big deal because Chalk actually understands the world around you so that during the video call, we can actually find the surfaces of the object so that the remote user has the ability to interact with them. Now we take all of that AR and manifest it into a very simple way, and we call those chalk marks. These are hand-drawn annotations that stick to the objects they're drawn on. Now you can draw these on the objects, and as you move around, they're going to stay exactly where you want them. They're not just going to float away on the screen, and this is a very huge advancement in remote assistance. So these chalk marks really allow for precise multi-step instructions to be given with a touch of a finger. And that means those previous instructions can be referenced over the course of the call, even as the employee has moved to a different point of view. So Chalk is a very personalized, human-centric interface. So it's going to allow for that personalized help on the asset. The technician can get all the real-time help they need on their issues. With that, there's unlimited calls. So no matter how many times the technician needs to call someone, there's always calls available. It's a very easy to use application for quick help. You simply pop open the app, you're greeted with your contacts list, and you can simply call whoever it is you need to call with just a couple of touches. It's also available on iOS and Android. There's works for wearables as well as being able to use Windows 10 devices on the roadmap as well. And all the employees are going to be stored in one central location. That goes with work group management as well. So the admins have the ability to get analytics on their calls, number of seats used, calls in the last 30 days, active users, and call duration, and much more. It's also the administrative support. So this is simply being able to add, remove users, manage users, and things of that nature. And one of the big benefits here is this can actually work with your current LDAP, so your users can use their current enterprise sign-in information to access the application. With all that being said, I would like to transition to a live demonstration on how Chalk actually works. I have my colleague Cody Wiltrout on the call with me here today. He's going to be acting as my remote expert for this session. So we're already inside of the Chalk app here. The only thing I have to do is simply tap on who I want to call, hit show my view, and it'll begin the call. So when we're in here, it's going to ask us to share our video. Once we do, it'll ask us to step slowly back and forth to help Chalk learn the environment. And this is what the app does to learn the environment so that we're able to draw those chalk marks and they're able to stick on the object that we want them on. So just have a little role play scenario here for Cody to help me with this motor. So hi, Cody. How are you doing today?
Hey Ryan, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Not bad. I have this motor unit here sitting in front of me. I was instructed to come in here and turn it on and get everything working, but I have no idea how to work it. Could you give me a hand?
Yeah, sure. I should be able to help you with that. No problem. So the first thing that we want to look at here is it looks like this power switch is off. So maybe try turning that on and see how that goes. All right, so it
Okay.
looks like that's on.
Turn it on.
So is anything appearing on the monitor?
Nope, nothing on the monitor yet. And as you'll notice, as I turn my iPad, you'll actually see that little notification in the left-hand side, pointing me back to the original location of the mark.
All right, well then maybe let's go ahead and try and take this HDMI cord and plug it in right here, and that should help get something up there on the screen.
All right. Okay, yeah, we have stuff happening on the monitor now.
All right. Well, then the next step here is to go ahead and try and turn on the motor using the green button there.
Nope, nothing.
Well, maybe the emergency stop is on. Go ahead and take this center button and rotate it this way.
Okay, there we go.
All right. And then lastly here, these two yellow buttons at the bottom, this one goes to this solenoid, and this right-hand one here goes to both of these to turn these on. And then you're good to
Okay.
go.
All right, awesome, Cody. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Anytime.
And to kind of go along with everything here, the person being instructed also has the ability to draw as well. So if I need to ask a specific question about something like that sensor up there, I can simply circle it, draw a box, whatever I need to do. So both users do have the ability to interact with the object. And like I mentioned before, as we move around, it's going to give us pointers back to where our marks were originally drawn. So they're not just simply going to float away on the screen. So if we need to reference those at any given time, we can. Other features, so we can also change the color of our annotations. If we want, something a little more high contrast, we can have the ability to do that. Cody also has the ability to turn on and off my flash. So if we're in a dark environment, he can't really see too well, he can simply turn the flash on for me. There's also a low bandwidth mode. So if you're in a low bandwidth situation, you can flip on the low bandwidth mode, and that will drop the frame rate, but keep the resolution of the video. So it'll be a very slow frame rate, but it allows the video to be very clear so that the remote expert can still see everything that he needs to see to help that person get their job done. And as we end the call, we're going to be greeted with a session summary here. And this is going to be a library of images with all of the annotations that have been drawn throughout the call. And we can simply export those to any photo app we have so that if we ever need to go back and reference those, we have the ability to do that as well. There's also on the roadmap going to be video recording. So we'll be able to have the ability to record calls as they're happening. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up here with a couple of slides, and then we can open it up for Q&A. So the value of using Chalk here, for one, you're going to reduce your service costs. So that's by increasing your technician utilization, so less travel and truck rolls. And you have the ability to utilize more junior technicians who are guided by fewer expert technicians. This can also help you accelerate your technician training and scalability. So this helps support the digitalization strategy to recruit more tech-savvy workers. And like we mentioned earlier, newer technicians learn differently. So now we're able to deliver work experience in an environment that is familiar to them. And this also allows for that remote mentoring as well as checking on of new trained technicians. This also helps us increase our quality of service as well, so we can have lower equipment downtime, decreasing our time to resolution, and increasing our first time fix rates. Really, all of this just leads into increased customer satisfaction, retention, and loyalty. And just to kind of go over it here, we have a couple slides for the administration, just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So the user management screen here, this is where you'll manage all of your users, assign roles, names, job titles, and it'll automatically send an email out to that person for them to activate their account. As far as analytics goes, we have active users graph, number of calls graph, top chalkers, as well as the company call log. So you'll be able to get all sorts of information on the calls, who's calling the most, how many calls, time spent, all of that will be available to you if you so choose. And that is Vuforia Chalk in a nutshell. Pretty short demonstration. So at this time, we can probably open it up to questions and answers.
All right, thank you guys. Doesn't look like we actually have any questions. However, if anyone has wants more information or any questions, just feel free to visit tristar.com. We also have information on how to receive a trial. And thank you again for attending. Thank you, Cody and Ryan, again.
You're welcome.
And once again, webinar will be sent to everyone that signed up, that you can play on demand, as well as further information. Enjoy the rest of your morning. Try to stay warm for anyone out on the East Coast, and have a good rest of your week.